can't wait to come back because it was so fun. It was so challenging. It pushed me beyond physical constraints that I didn't know that I could get behind. I was riding in the car with my cousin yesterday, and we were listening to Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. And I was sharing with her that on the way to where we were going, which was the gym, I was listening to like some personal development, and it was very like elevated conversation. And, you know, it was about living out your dreams and building life on your own terms and all the things that I talk about. And then on the way back from the gym, I had to throw on my Dreams and Nightmares, like my Meek Mill. And I'm in the car like, I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this. So I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up in the back of a paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrists. See my dreams unfold. Nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game. And I said, yeah, I do. Okay, so I'm getting too turned up. The thing is, it's such prophetic lyrics. And if people would stop and listen, let me pull up these Meek Mill lyrics. If people would stop and listen to these lyrics and not just be driven by a beat, you would understand how this man is like crying and pouring his heart out through these lyrics. Like you would really understand. I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this. So I had to grind like that to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up ish in the back of a paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrists, I saw my dreams unfold. My nightmares coming true. Like I'm in the back of a paddy wagon. Nightmares are coming true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do. Young man, if you want it, you got to see it with a clear-eyed view. Y'all ain't ready for this. Anyway. Welcome to another episode of Full Transparency with Donni Wiggins. As you can see, I am on one today. Full Transparency Podcast is your place to come in for a transparent perspective on all things entrepreneurship, lifestyle, relationship, you name it. I have it here. And today we are coming with a solo episode because I want to talk to you directly about things that are happening in your life that I know you need right now to get to whatever your next level is. And the overall gist of what I want to talk about today is yesterday. I want to start off by talking about yesterday, because I feel like one of the biggest things that is holding you back from your next level is thinking about what you did yesterday. And you're either leveraging yesterday because you had these amazing dynamic results and you're like, oh, I did this, I did this, I did this, and so I am. Or you are leveraging yesterday to be an excuse for why you can't do what it is that you want to do today. Oh, these circumstances, oh, this happened, or that breakup, or how I felt, or I didn't have the money. I want you to know right now, and if you're taking notes, go ahead and let's start this out. Write this down. What happened to you yesterday does not define who you are today. I heard someone say this a while ago, and it's a quote that has stuck with me for so long. Because when you think about how you live your life, many of us are not living in the right now. Most of us are either living in the past of things that happened, or we're living hopeful for the future about things that hadn't happened yet. And though past, present, and future all play dynamic roles in our lives, it's really important to honor where you are right now in this moment today. I want you to release your past. I want you to set it free. I want you to even relish in the beauty of your past if it's brought you incredible joy in your life, great experience, great accomplishments, and accolades. But we have to move on from it. We have to move on from it because when I am talking to new entrepreneurs and I am coaching people and I am challenging them to do better than they did the day before, the common question that I get is, well, yesterday I did my very best. So how am I going to do better than my very best? And I had this conversation on Instagram. I went live with this conversation, and the conversation was so impactful for so many people that I believe that you needed to, because you may not have seen that and you needed to. And so what I'm going to talk to you about right now is your best. and why your best is keeping you from your greatest. Your best is keeping you from becoming your greatest self and achieving the greatest thing that is waiting for you. Because if I'm being totally transparent, your best is just not good enough. Your best is just not good enough. So right now, you are working towards something, you have a goal, or you think you're working towards something. You've written down a plan, you've written down a to-do list, you've got these action steps identified, and you're taking baby steps. You're balancing these goals around your career, you're balancing your goals around your relationship, you're balancing your goals around parenthood, you're balancing it around everything else except for focusing and zeroing in on that goal specifically. And you believe that if you carve out 30 minutes today, if you carve out 45 minutes today, if you work an extra 10 minutes, that you're actually doing your best. You believe writing out the list, you believe showing up to the gym is doing your best. You believe skipping a red meat in your diet today is doing your best. You believe spending time with your significant other, watching a good show on Netflix that you usually don't do just to get some quality time in is doing your best. And I am here to tell you that your best is not good enough. We have to move out of this mindset of doing our best and move into the mindset of doing what's required. Immediately right now, I want you to say to yourself, I understand that my best isn't good enough. And from this point forward, starting today, I am not just doing my best. I am going to do what's required. Let me tell you why. Who's measuring your best? What is the scale in which we determine that the best that you're doing is good enough, right? Who are we measuring that up against? Because I'll tell you this, on a journey to entrepreneurship to get to the next level, your best probably isn't what I believe my best is. And my best most likely isn't what I believe my mentor's best is, right? Best is subjective. It's subjective to who you are. It's subjective to what you feel like doing. It's subjective to what your experiences have been in your life so far. And when we're talking about accomplishing a really big goal, when we're talking about changing the dynamic of our lives, our families' lives, our communities' lives, best just isn't good enough. So today makes day 44 that I have worked out physically in a gym every single day. Last month, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to stop doing this on again, off again dance with my physical fitness and going to the gym and working out. I've been working out, and I could say in one breath that I've been working out consistently for the last 2 years, at least a year and a half. But then in another breath, I could say to myself, girl, who are you kidding? Stop playing with yourself, because you in that last year and a half to 2 years, sometimes my best looked like just being able to squeeze in one day in the gym. Sometimes it looked like going 2 days, 3 days. There was no level of consistency because I had a goal for getting fit. I had a goal for going to the gym, but I was trying to do my best and fit it around everything else that I had to do. And so then fast forward a year and a half, 2 years later, I'm not seeing the result that I want. I don't have the chiseled abs. I don't have the defined muscles. My strength and endurance is not at the level that I want it to be because I was doing my best. And my best was based on my availability. My best was based on my schedule, my clients, my appointments, my travel, right? My dating life. My best was based on everything other than what was required to actually get the result. So today I want to look you right in your eye and tell you that your best is not good enough. We are doing what is required. So I had a mindset shift. I had a mindset shift at the end of last year, and I said, you know what? In order to get the result, I know that I need to be working out 4 days a week. Okay, so I started that. I went on this journey and I start hitting the gym 4 days a week. I'm starting to get the result. I'm feeling really great about the activity. I know that I'm doing above average work because I've never had an amazing relationship. I've never had an amazing relationship with going to the gym. So I'm proud of myself. I'm doing my very best. I am going to the gym 4 days a week. Then I end up having a back injury, and that back injury would keep me from being able to work out the way that I want to for about 3 months as I'm rehabilitating my back. And so then at the top of this year, when I was cleared and able to get back in the gym, I start going to the gym. And it's the same thing. Anytime you stop doing something consistently, it's like starting over from day one all over again. Suddenly, I don't have the desire to go to the gym. Honestly, I never have the desire to go to the gym. I never want to go to the gym. I want to feel good. I want to look good. I want to actually be good externally and internally. That's all the motivation I need. But still, I struggled. And I was trying to convince myself that my best looked like showing up 3 days a week, 4 days a week. But it was because I wasn't getting the result that I really wanted. The results weren't happening fast enough. They weren't happening big enough. I said, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I am going to force the habit beyond what I believe my current best is. I am going to force the habit of going into the gym and working out. And I'm going to do that by going every single day for 30 days. Because I've heard experts say it takes 15 to 21 times of doing something consistently to develop and create a habit. Well, I'm a little bit rebellious. I'm a little resilient, right? Or resistant. I resist the status quo. So I said, if experts say it takes 15 to 21 days to create a habit, then I'm going to do it for 30 days. And so you guys, I started going to the gym every single day. Every single day was a challenge. And then what would end up happening was at the end of the 30 days, when I was ready to celebrate because I had done something that was better than what my best was, and I'm starting to see the results. I went from having the bulge over my pants to now having a flat stomach. We still don't have the etched out abs yet. They're coming. Give me another 60 days on that. The abs are coming, right? We still don't have that, but we definitely see a major improvement just from pushing myself and challenging what I thought was my best. Now, a couple of things happen. I start to work with trainers, 3 trainers total, that each pushed me in a different way. I had a virtual trainer that pushed me in an accountability way because it's so easy to say, I'm not going today. He's virtual. He didn't have to get in his car to meet me here. He's right on his phone. It's not going to inconvenience him too much if I cancel. That virtual training held me to a mental accountability. I had to show up for myself. I didn't have anybody waiting for me at the gym. It was me, my phone, and my trainer virtually. Second trainer, a woman here in Atlanta. One day I'm on Instagram and I'm looking at her. I'm watching her do these incredible workouts that, you know, those workouts that look like, oh, y'all are doing too much. Nobody needs to do all those movements and activities to be fine, right? Shout out to this trainer. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I be in the gym sometimes like, is this movement really necessary? Like, I'm just looking for that little, you know, that cut right here. I want to get rid of this right here. And y'all got me flying in the gym, throwing balls up and down. It's too much. But I wanted to push past my personal best and do what was required. It wasn't necessarily required that I do these crazy movements, but I'm looking at this trainer and I see her doing what's called partner workouts. And I'm looking at her body and I'm like, wow, she's really fit. And I start looking through her timeline and I'm like, she's there every single day. So I send her a DM and I said, I want to do this workout. She did this crazy, insane workout with somebody. They had to have been working out for 10 years straight, like total, right? I'm like, I want to do this workout. I go to the gym the next day. We do this workout. It pushed me beyond every limiting physical constraint that I had placed on myself. Everything that I told my body it couldn't do. I have a tricky left knee. This knee has been injured a couple of times. And so I lack confidence in really going hard on this knee. And so I start the conversation out with, hey, I'm going to do my best, but this knee, let's be aware of it. And I do need to be aware of it, but it's because I've been trying this by myself for so long that I didn't realize that I could actually do something to improve the strength in this knee. And then I could push myself beyond the physical limit that I had placed on myself. And some of y'all are thinking right now that this conversation is about the gym. And if you're believing that this conversation is about the gym, then you've already missed the message. I've got the virtual trainer who is holding me to a level of accountability where I have to show up for myself. I have to now be an indication of the level of integrity that I have, where I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, whether somebody is watching me or not, whether the cameras are on or not, whether somebody is waiting for me or not. I don't want you to miss that part. And now I have my Atlanta trainer, the first woman trainer that I've worked with in years. And I'm going in there and I'm doing this crazy workout. I'm talking about we're throwing weights back and forth and catching them back and forth to each other. We've got these medicine balls and they're 8 pounds and 10 pounds. And I'm jumping up in the air like I'm not 44 years old, who hadn't created this regular routine of working out. I am pushing my body. I'm doing these high intensity training sessions with her, all this cardio, things that I've been telling myself, oh, I don't do cardio, I don't run, I don't do all. Yeah, the very reason why I struggle to walk up a flight of stairs really quickly without breathing heavily. The reason that I was physically in the position that I was in was because of these limitations that I thought I had to place on myself. So I start going with her and we're doing these insane workouts, and I get it now. It's not just about being insane and over the top. It's about implementing fun into these workouts. And after this workout, it was the first time that I said, oh my God, I can't wait to come back, because it was so fun. It was so challenging. It pushed me beyond physical constraints that I didn't know that I could get behind. I didn't know that I could get past. And so what's the restraint or the constraint that you're placing on yourself? What is it that you think you can only do based on the amount of money that you have? What is it that you think you can only do based on your current health status? What is it that you think you can only do based on the resources that you have access to right now in real time? But see, it gets even deeper than this. So now I've got the accountability, the integrity accountability through the virtual trainer. And now I've got a partner workout that's pushing me back past my own physical constraints. And now I've got trainer number 3, who I've been working out with extensively now. And this person is now starting to build the body. So trainer 1 is helping me to get past my physical blockages or my mental blockages and get past, and we're now starting to develop the mindset, right? We're developing the mindset. Trainer number 2 has implemented this level of fun and showing me why the journey may look so hard, but why it ends up being worth it. So now I am actually creating a respect for the journey, right? I put somebody in place that helps me to create a level of respect for the journey. These are coaches, these are trainers. I don't want you to miss that. Now, trainer number 3 is just focused on the result. They're focused on carving out the body that I want. And they're not letting me slide. I don't get breaks. He's team no breaks. We go in, we work out. It's 45 to 60 minutes of intense training. You're going to drip sweat. I used to brag about how I could go into the gym and have a really great workout. I did my best and I walk out. I smell amazing. I could go on a date if I wanted to. I could have a business meeting. I don't sweat. I used to brag about this foolishness, which now I understand was just an indication that my best wasn't good enough. It was an indication that the reps that I was trying to do on my own, unassisted, without training, without development, without coaching, it just wasn't good enough. And if I wanted to get the result, I could no longer focus on doing my best, remove it from my vocabulary. I do what's required. Wherever you're listening to this at right now, wherever you're listening to this at, whether you're on YouTube or one of the other platforms, I want you to stop. And I want you to type it out in the comments. I do what's required. I understand that my best isn't good enough. I understand that my best is subjective. I understand that my best really isn't measurable. I understand that when I say that I'm doing my best, it's just me trying to psych myself out into believing that I've done every single thing that I can do and I'm not going to do anything more because right now I've done my best. But is your best as good as my best? Is my best as good as my mentor's best? Is your best as good as the person who's looking at you right now? Is it better than their best? You ever had somebody tell you that they've done their best and you think this is ridiculous? That's all you got? This is ridiculous. That's all you're coming with? That's all the energy that you are willing to put into what it is. You say you want it so badly with your mouth, but physically this is all you're willing to do and you call it your best. Well, that's how I'm looking at you right now. The same way that you judge other people for having a low metric for what best means, I am looking at you right now, because the truth of the matter is, when we're going after goals, when we are trying to create a different lifestyle for ourselves, when we're trying to get to our next best level, the truth of the matter is your bar is too close to the ground. Your bar can either be right here or your bar can be right here. And I find that way too many of us have a bar that is too close to the ground. Your bar is on the ground. And right now I need you to pick it up. I need you to say, you know what? My best hasn't been good enough. You know what? I could have gone harder. When I think about what I did yesterday, I could have done a little bit more. I had another 10% effort in me. I had another 30, 50, 70% effort in me. I didn't do my best. I did what I felt like doing. And I need you to actually take accountability for that and admit that you were never doing your best. You did what you felt like. Hey, are you a service-based entrepreneur that helps your clients or customers get some type of result, but you're struggling to post and communicate your message on social media? You don't know how to type a caption that connects and gets people's attention and converts them from just someone who's following you on social to becoming your customer or your client? Great news is that's my superpower. So I'm sending you 3 text messages every single day, excluding major holidays, directly to your phone of exactly what you need to post to get people to buy and convert them into clients and customers. All you have to do is join my program, Post to Paid, and you can do so by texting the words Post to Paid to 404-737-2767. And the best news is just $37 a month. So hurry up, send me the text. I'm looking for it now. And then when you no longer felt like doing anymore, you stopped and you called that your best. You did what you felt like. See, in the gym, I would go downstairs in the gym in my building by myself, super convenient, and I would pick up those weights. I would pick up the 15-pound weight, and I start doing my exercise. I'm starting to go through my reps. I'm starting to do what I thought that I should be doing. And then you know what starts to happen after doing these reps over and over again, after trying to chest press with these 15 pounds and lifting weights up over my head over and over again? These arms start giving out. I start to get tired. And I say, you know what? Let me put these 15s down real quick, Reese. Let me put these 15s down. It's all right if I do 12 and a half. It's okay if I do the 12.5, because at least I'm doing my best. At least I showed up, because I could have just stayed upstairs and stayed in my bed. I could have just stayed watching TV. I could have just ate some cookies, but I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to put the 15s down, pick the 12 and a halves up, and I'm going to psych myself into believing that that's my best when really it's not my best. I could have done those 15s some more. I could have done it again. The truth is, I just didn't feel like it. And so many of you are operating your whole lives right now today, and your results look like what you felt like doing. Your results look like what you felt like getting. Your results look like the best that you have psyched yourself into believing was good enough, when what you should be doing is what's required. How much better, how much further, how much stronger, how much longer could you be, have, do, experience if you started to say and approach your day every single day with, you know what? Let me get my bar up off the floor. Let me get my metric of good enough up off the floor. Let me raise the bar just a little bit. If I approach today with the question, what's required for me to achieve the result? Could my life look different in 5 years? 5 months? 5 days? What's required? See, I used to have a habit of going to the gym. I had a virtual trainer, and I would hang up the phone. I would just stop. Like, what are you going to do? You're on the phone. You can't make me get up. You can't make me not take this break. I'll get back to the workout. I'll finish it, but it's going to be on my terms, because that's just who I was. Right? I go to the gym and my trainer is like, get up, no more break. And I'm like, yeah, right. That's because that's who I was. Nobody's going to tell me not to take this break. You can't tell me not to have a sip of this water. I know that I have to finish the workout. And instead of the 30-second break, I'm going to take a 2-minute break. And then I'm not getting the result. And I want to tell myself, well, you've been working out for the last 2 years. It's embarrassing right now for me to tell people that I've been working out for the last 2 years, year and a half to 2 years. It's really embarrassing to still have this jiggle under my arm, right? Oh, wait now. The jiggle is not jiggling the way it was jiggling a couple of weeks ago. You know why? Because I've been doing what's required. There's still a little bit there, but I had that chicken flap arm, that underneath where you go back and forth and you waving that thing around and it's just ooh, 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 ooh. Y'all see, hold on, hold on, Reese. Do you see that? Do you see that definition coming? Because I've been doing what's required. I don't want to go to the gym every single day. I never wanted to, but I understood that the way that I work, I had to do something every single day so that I would miss it. You hang out with that guy, you hang out with that girl every single day. Try hanging out with somebody that gives you the result of feeling good. And you do that every single day for 15 days. And then that person calls you and says, oh, I can't come over tonight. Oh, I can't hang out tonight. And that's day one. And day one, you're like, oh, okay, I'll make it. I'll survive. It doesn't feel good, but I'll survive. And then day two comes and they're still unavailable. Day three, day four comes by and you haven't seen this person that you created this routine of spending time with. And the result is that you feel really good. You feel really special. You feel like somebody cares about you. And now 4 days later, this person hasn't been able to make the time. You start feeling bad. You start going through withdrawal. You start to miss this person. Your body starts to crave this person. Now you're trying to create every opportunity possible to get this person next to you, spending time with you again. Well, I knew that that's the effect that I had to have internally and physically in order for me to pick up this love or this respect for working out, because I see the result. I see the result that's coming. I see the result that's coming. I see these muscles. I see this definition that wasn't here before. I see this result coming in right now. This is the result that I want. And this was not happening with me going 3 days a week and then skipping 7 days and then 3 days a week and skipping and telling myself, convincing y'all that it was consistent. I had to go every day. I had to do the work. I had to create a respect for the journey. I had to do it so much that if I skip a day today, every day I wake up and I don't want to go. Every day I wake up and I don't want to do the work that's required. Every single day. I am not very different than you. Every single day I am looking at my to-do list and I have to talk to this client and I have to get on the phone with this tech team and I have to go to the gym and I have to do this and I have to make sure that I'm eating 3 times a day and getting in a couple of snacks. So I really ate 5 times in the day. I don't feel like doing any of it, but I desire the result. And what audacity would I have to want a result and not desire to do the work? What audacity do you have? How much audacity is being handed out left and right? Because right now you want to earn your first 6 figures. You want to earn your first 7 figures. You want to be in the best shape of your life. You want the bomb relationship. You want to travel the world, but you are not willing to do it under circumstances that don't feel good or look good or fit conveniently into a schedule for you. You have so much audacity that you think you are going to build life on your own terms by your own design. You think that you are going to change the dynamic of your family. You think that you are going to shift a culture. You think that you are going to experience what it feels like to have freedom, but you don't want to do any of the work. Everything has to feel good for you. You want this mega result, but it has to feel good. Oh, I want the perfect body as long as the gym doesn't make me sweat too much. Oh, I want to be in the best shape of my life as long as I don't sweat out this fresh press. Oh, I want to make all the money as long as I get to be soft and I'm not working more than 4 hours a day. Oh, I want the bomb relationship as long as I don't have to push my ego and my pride down to the side a little bit and I get to boss up on him or her all the time. As long as it feels good for me, then I'll get the result. And I'm here to tell you that it does not work like that. Big result, big energy. Big result, big output. Big result, big requirement. Big result, big responsibility. We don't do our best anymore. That's dead. That's pre-bill behavior. That's pre-adulting behavior. You tell your kid to do their best. You tell your kid to do their best. And I even see it like with little league teams and, parents are like, oh, the coach is being too hard on the kids because he's really pushing them. No, the coach is teaching them very early in life that you don't get out there and do your best. Everybody shouldn't get a prize. You do what's required so that you are indisputably the champion. You do what is required so that you are the winner of what it is that you want to win at. We don't do our best. But if we have to tell somebody to do our best, you tell kids to do their best. We're adults. We have bills. We have expenses that come around like clockwork. We have people that we are responsible for. We have lives of our own that we are responsible for. We have people who are looking at us to be our most dynamic and greatest selves so that they can be that too. We have spouses. We have significant others. We have all kinds of responsibility. You can't be living a life out here talking about, oh, I did my best. And today your best meant at least I got out of the bed. And for clarity, I am talking to someone who is mentally healthy, physically able. There's always an exception. Today, I'm not talking to the person who's dealing with some type of a clinically diagnosed depression where really your best today might just be getting out of the bed. I'm not talking to you today. I am talking to the person where you are mentally sound. You are not experiencing anything that is throwing you off chemically or throwing you off just clinically. You're just lazy. You're just procrastinating. Your metric of what your best is changes from day to day. It fluctuates. Today is getting out of the bed. Today is getting out of the bed and you actually cooked yourself a meal. Oh, you actually got dressed. You think that's your best. Oh, you actually took a meeting. You think that's your best. You're meeting somebody for lunch. You think that's your best. You think you put out great output when what you really did is what you feel like, but you want the 6 figures. You want the great body. You want the bomb relationship. You want the business. You want to be somebody's boss. Write it down right now. No more best. Only what's required. Only what's required. And here's the thing. This is a lesson that you can learn right now. It's not too late for you because your future starts today. Your future starts right now. Everything that you're working on right now, today, you can do it differently. You can recreate that to-do list. You can replan the plan and you can take out you know what? I know I can pick up the extra 2.5 pounds. Like I cheated on myself. I cheated on myself that day in the gym where I started off with the 15 pounds and I dropped down to 12.5 pounds. My arms didn't give out. I just didn't feel like doing that much work. I didn't feel like expressing that much energy. I cheated my own self out of the result for doing what I felt like was my best in that moment, for doing what I felt like doing. But I understand fully now that even today, every single day we wake up, we have a decision to work toward being our best self because our future self will thank us later for it. You may have heard that said before. It's also one of my favorite quotes. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Well, your future starts today. What can you do right now today that tomorrow's you will thank you for? What seed can you plant today that 30 days from now, you're going to say, you know what? I remember clearly when I set out to get this result, I achieved it today. Thank you, 30-day ago self. Thank you. What can you do today? So far we've taken notes. We've said we're no longer doing our best. We're doing what's required. We also said our future starts now, right? Our future starts now. We're also taking note of every single day asking yourself, what can I do today that my future self is going to thank me for? What does that look like for you? For me, it looks like being in the gym. It looks like building up my strength and my endurance. It looks like paying attention to my eating habits and my eating choices. Why? Because I could either be a person who is determined to earn multiple 7 figures to live a life where I'm traveling and I'm investing and I'm giving back, or the person who doesn't prioritize their physical fitness and doesn't prioritize their health. I could be really working for this multiple 7 figures and end up spending it in hospital bills and investing in treatments that I wouldn't have needed had I had my present self done this for my future self. What's your present self doing right now? I want us to analyze this. I really want you to think about it. On your paper, go to a new area so you have a full page. And I want you to write out your daily habits. If you can't think of them right now, I want you to write out an outline of how you spent your day just yesterday, or maybe today, depending on what time you're watching this. How did you spend your most recent full day? Starting from the wake up to your morning routine. What was your morning routine like? Did you get out of the bed rushed? You set the snooze alarm 3 or 4 times. So now you have to rush into your clothes. You have to rush to that meeting. You have to rush through a phone call. You barely made it in front of the Zoom camera to get onto that conversation that you're supposed to have. Or did you have a morning routine that allowed you to operate in ease and flow? You got to get up. You got to fix yourself a nice healthy breakfast. You gave yourself energy throughout the day. Maybe you got in a good stretch. You were able to call your parents or call your children or speak to your significant other and spend some time with them. How did your day start in your most recent full day? So that means if it's like noon and you're watching this right now, we're looking at yesterday. If it's 10, 11 o'clock at night and you're watching this, we're looking at today. And you're starting with outlining from the time that you opened your eyes until right before you closed your eyes that day. I want you to write out every single thing that you did. How did you spend that time? And now I want you to look at this list and I want you to circle the things that you did. I want you to circle the things that you did that your future self will thank you for. Circle the things on your list. And hopefully we've got plenty of decisions that we made, plenty of activities, plenty of ways that we spent our time in that period, in that 24-hour period of time that your future self will thank you for. I want you to circle so you can easily identify the behavior that you did in your most recent full day that your future self will be grateful for. Now, I want you to look at everything else that's left. Let's look at what's left. So you've got some line items on there where there aren't any, there's nothing circled. And I want you to ask yourself, is this activity that was worth my time? Is this activity that was worth my time? Okay. If it was not activity that was worth your time, I want you to just draw a thin line through it. Thin enough to know that you need to eliminate this, but not so thick that you can't read it, because you're going to want to go back to this so that you know this is behavior. You want to remind yourself that this is behavior, this is activity, this is energy output that was not worth my time. Now let's look at what's left. We've got some things circled. We've got a thin line between some other things. What are these other things that are on the list? Well, these are things that we did. They're necessary. We needed to do it. But because we didn't do it in a way that was required to really maximize it, our future self probably isn't going to thank us for it because we tiptoed around it. We did it very lightly. We did it very gently and tenderly. Well, these are the areas of opportunity that you have to improve and move away from doing just your best. So on there, you might say, I ate twice today. Well, we know that that's not your best. Do you need the food? Yes. But the average person should be eating 3 meals a day, especially if you're on a fitness journey, right? So eating twice, that wasn't your best. You just ate. You did what you needed to do for sustenance so that you wouldn't feel sick and dizzy and fatigued later. Let's do better in our next full day. Let's do better tomorrow or today and make sure we get 3 good meals and 2 good healthy snacks in, right? Okay, you went to your office. You had a meeting with your team. Is that something that your future self as a CEO or as a team leader is going to thank you for? Audit your activity. And the whole point of this is in auditing your activity and having a clear, remember Meek Mill said, you got to see the vision with a clear eye view. This is the clear eye view. This is writing your activity out is the clear eye view. You want to know why you're not experiencing the results that you absolutely desire? Well, write your activity out. Let's audit for it. Let's look at it and cross-reference and double check. You want to know why the results are taking so long? Write this activity down. Actually audit everything you're doing in the day. I don't want you to miss this. I don't want you to skip this activity of literally auditing what your day looks like from the moment you open your eyes until the moment that you're about to go to bed. Write out every single thing that you've done. And if you are looking for a reason why your life doesn't look the way you want it to look, why the results aren't happening fast enough, why the results aren't happening big enough, why it looks like everybody else is getting it faster, better, and easier than you, the answer to why this is happening for you is in this audit of what you've done today. But see, if you don't write it out, you don't see it with the clear eye view. You see it with your fuzzy memory. And that's not good enough. If you want the truth about why your life looks the way it does today, Do the work. Grab the paper right now. Write it out. From the time I opened my eyes until right before bed, let me fill in what I did. I woke up rushing, or I woke up with ease. I ate breakfast, or I skipped breakfast. I rushed to where I had to get to, or I didn't. I had enough time. I gave myself enough time, or I didn't. I got dressed nicely, or I got dressed messily. Write these things down. And if you want to easily identify why life looks the way it looks for you right now, it is hidden in the way you spend your time every single day. It's hidden in the way you spend your time every single day. You can't hide from the work that you did or didn't do. It is impossible for you to hide from the work that you did or you didn't do. Your results will show and tell on you every single time. Your results are going to show and tell every single time. And so as you're watching this episode of Full Transparency, I really want you to think deeper than the gym exercise, than the relationship, than the business. I want you to think deeper than the examples that I gave you and the story that I told about my own personal journey. And I want you to say, you know what, God, I've been looking for something. I've been looking for answers. I've been looking for a solution. I've been wondering why. I've been beating myself up. I've been giving myself a hard time. I've been so discouraged. And for some reason, Donni Wiggins in this Full Transparency podcast popped up in front of me today, and I decided to click play. God, is not just to see her. It's not just to be entertained by her. It is not just to be present in the moment. What is this experience here to teach me? God, why was this presented to me today? What is it about myself that I may not be showing up for in the right way? What excuses am I feeding myself that I've been believing? What have I been believing about myself that is untrue? What have I been believing about the work that I've been doing that is a little bit of a stretch? What have I not been doing at the level that's required to get the result that I want? I want you to seriously take all of this information. I told you earlier, it has nothing to do with my gym activity. I wanted to take you through the journey, the transition, the moment that I had the shift, and what it took for me to have a shift from doing what I thought was my best to doing what's absolutely required. And if you've reached this video, if you hear the sound of my voice today, there are decisions that you need to make. There are circumstances that you need to overcome. There are separations that you need to place in your life. There are goals that you need to accomplish. There's something with your name on it that is waiting for you to show up for it in the way that's required, not in what you think is your best. And that's the only way you're going to make it happen. That's the only way you're going to have this explosive result, this amazing result, this bigger than life result, the result that you never imagined. When people say things like, I never knew it could be this great. I never knew it could be this good. I didn't know it would feel like this. It's because they did what was required. In order to get it, you have to be intentional. So if you're hearing the sound of my voice, if you're looking at this right now, I want you to say, you know what? It's not that this podcast episode was great. It's not that Donni was dropping gems. I mean, both those things are true. But it's more about, what is this here to teach me? What is this here to teach me? And I tell you this, if you start to approach all of your experiences and navigate through life with that mindset, the mindset of, well, what is this experience here to teach me? You will have a different level of respect for your journey. You'll also have a different level of respect of the amazing things that happen to you, and you'll have a different level of perspective and respect for the things that happened to you that didn't feel good, that were not so great, that were traumatic. What is this experience here to teach me? I want you to go through your day every single day. How can I do what's required? What is required of me? What is required of me to get the result that I need to get today? Identify that. And then 2, what is this experience here to teach me? If you operate life every single day and approach it every single day with those 2 questions in mind, you will not be able to run from your own greatness. My name is Donni Wiggins. This has been another amazing episode of Full Transparency. Please do me a favor. If you believe somebody needs this message today, share this message with them. If you love it so much that you want more and more messages from me and some of my friends that I'll be bringing on with me, make sure you are subscribed so you know every single time I drop a new episode. You can join me in my mentorship, Actionable CEO. You'll find the link for it in the description of this video. And also, don't forget to tell everybody you know about Full Transparency with Donni Wiggins. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to reading your comments. I'll see you next week.